Welcome to the Great Whites Podcast, a series between SharkCast and the Cronulla Sharks. Thanks to Tim and thanks to Ash Taylor, our club historian, for getting all this happening. We're going to bring you regular interviews with former Shark greats, Great Whites Sharks, if you will. And today we have a very special guest. He's Shark number 252, Mr. Aaron Raper. Welcome to the show. Welcome back to SharkCast. How you going?
Yeah, good, mate. Thanks for having me on here, Sam. I really appreciate it.
Good health, good happiness. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, mate. My life's very happy. I've got a lovely family and just live up here in Caringbah, so it's hard to move out of the Shire once you've been here for so long. But I'm going okay. Thanks very much.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. We're going to get to know you a little bit better, especially about your time at the Sharks, but some other stuff as well. Obviously, we're going to touch on some family heritage, the great surname. We'll start there and we'll move forward if that's cool with you. So, Dad John, an immortal, a lot of famous uncles that were before my time. I didn't realise you had so many uncles that played at the top league. So we had Ron, Maury, Peter, Gerard. Is that
Jared? Yep.
Jared, apologies.
Yep.
And of course, Stuart, your brother, who we'll get to, played for the Sharks. But tell us about growing up with that kind of family. Like, did you have a choice in playing the game?
Yeah. It's you know what, I did have a choice, but there was no choice to make. You know, it was a simple choice to make. So I should say, growing up in a family like that, we used to have get-togethers and over at Revesby at Pop's place, and because Dad's got 8 brothers. And we were all footballers, like all the cousins. We played football out in the front lawn, and not that I knew back then, but I come to know later on is that my uncles actually had a name within themselves. Like like Ronnie they say was, if it wasn't because of Dad and Ronnie Coote and the likes of those guys would have played more representative football or played representative football. They thought they said he was an outstanding footballer. And Maury played plenty of football out at Penrith and at the Sharks as well. I think he sat on the bench for the first grand final. Actually, I don't know all the story of that, but I think he sat on the bench for him.
Okay.
I could be corrected there. I can be corrected. And so it definitely was a exciting childhood. I can tell you that. And I've got cousins as well that have played for the Bulldogs and a couple of other teams as well. And my other brother Kurt, he played under 21s for the Dragons. So yeah, there's definitely quite a few names there that have played great.
At what age did you realise your dad was a household name?
Right. Well, there is a story to this, and I actually said it at Dad's funeral at the SCG. I was 9 years. I was playing in the under 9s for Gymea Gorillas. Mm-hmm. I played a really good game. I come off, and Dad was at the game, but he didn't go to all my games. He was pretty busy back then, as you could imagine, with with footy and things, having to be away on weekends. And I went off the field, and I went over to Dad, and Dad said, "Good game, son." Didn't give me too much praise because that's not what Dad did. And this other bloke who was standing there, goes to me, "You play well, son, but you'll never be good as your old man." Oh. And I remember looking up to him, and I said, "Oh, okay. What does my old man do?" And it was from then I realised that my life was going to be different.
Did your dad hear that comment?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember that part.
Fair enough.
I can't remember all the little bits, but I just remember looking at him and saying, "What does my old man do?"
Yeah.
Because it was just Dad, and people don't understand that. It's, even though he was probably one of the most famous people in New South Wales at the time, it wasn't to me. He was just Dad. I was just grateful to see him. I was grateful he could be at my game, and it was just a normal dad to me. But as I grew older, it became a little bit more difficult, and you could always hear, "Oh, there's Johnny Raper's son," so I carried the burden of the name a lot, as did all of us, right? Yep. Not just me. So my brothers and my cousins, because everyone thought that the Raper, there had to be a gun player because of our name, obviously. But
at what point in your life did you let that go?
It wasn't till I'm gonna say about 19.
Okay.
19. Because I remember walking down, and I was getting earmarked to play first grade. I remember walking down the street because I used to walk with Dad down Cronulla Street, and I used to hold his hand and have my head down because I was hoping that it was just me and him, and we'd walk through, but it never was.
Yeah.
Like it was always, there was thousands of people coming up to him and saying, "Hey, Chook, how you going, mate?" Da 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 da. And so I always wanted it to be me and him, and I found myself doing this a lot, walking down Cronulla Street, even when he wasn't there, with my head down, because I just I don't know why, like this is. But then one day I just told myself, look up, like just walk. You know, you've done okay. You can have your head high. You know, like so. It would have been about 19 or 20, okay. I reckon. Yeah.
So, D-La Sal Caringbah representative. How do you find yourself getting into the lower grades of the Sharks, like the junior ranks? Yeah,
so I started in the Matthews Cup. I think it was the under 13s. We had Matthews Cup, 2 seasons of Matthews Cup that year because they changed it to under 14s or 15s or something. So I had 2 years in the Matthews. So I come through the system, which was mainly all local juniors.
Yep.
Like it was not like these days. These days they bring guys in from outside, but it was all local juniors. So all my mates that I played against, and we didn't have the best players. You know, like we had some good. There was probably only about 4 of us, I think, that in my year that actually went on and played first grade football. But it was good times. And we'd been mates, you know, like I talk about Robbie Kearns and Stewie Topper. Like I've been mates with them since I was like 13 years of age. You know, like it was really good. I really enjoyed my time going through because we used to go away together, and yeah, it was good times.
And how do you find yourself getting closer? So when did you play President's Cup, for example?
So I was...
Which for our younger listeners is 3rd grade.
Yeah, so back then it was I think it was under 21s. It was under 21s, right. And because it was originally it was under 23s, and then it went to under 21s, and I don't know if they ever went back to under 23s or not, but I played my last year for D-La in under 17s, and since then I went on. So I was 17 when I come in to play grade in the under 21s, and it was sort of young. Like I suppose, like being like a 17-year-old and training and playing against these guys, you know, who were 21, or who I thought were big men back then.
For sure.
But but there was like I said, Stewie Topper and Kearnsy come through with us, so it made it a lot easier. And I knew because like back in those days, like I said, that everything was local juniors.
Yeah.
Like we had no outsiders really at that stage, and so I'd seen the guys year above me and again above me, like 2 years above me. I knew all those people, so the transition into it was quite good. I wasn't walking into a new area, you know. Like I felt comfortable. We all felt comfortable going into the rep scene.
And we'll talk about your brother Stuart throughout, but was he at Cronulla playing regularly when you were in the system?
Yeah, so he went through the system as well. He did the Matthews, the ball, and the flag. And then, but I don't know whether he was at the club when I come through. For some reason, I've got a feeling that he went to the Dragons at that stage. Okay. So I think he only played 1 or 2 seasons at Shark. I can't remember. I seriously can't remember. But yeah, I remember him winning the comp down in the Dragons. But I don't remember him being at training when I was here. Okay.
And tell us about, so you made your debut in 1990. Tell us about leading up to that. Like, did you have a hunch that you were going to, because you started out under, give us your coaches. Who was your first coach in first grade? Was it Fitzgibbon?
In first grade was Fitzy, yeah.
So you debuted in 1990. When did you get a hunch that you were going to get a shot? Was it because you were pretty young still?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it was that year. It was that year because what used to happen was I used to play under 21s, and then sometimes I'd play a whole game in under 21s.
Yeah.
and then sit on the bench for first grade. Sometimes I'd play half a game under 21s, play half a game reserve grade, then sit on the bench for first grade. But we all knew, like, there was a couple of us that would do that, and I think it was just more for the experience of getting ready, because, you know, like, this is how we do it in first grade. So it was a good apprenticeship, I suppose, that Fitzy brought in. He did it with a lot of people, and it was almost like you'd sit on the bench and it was like you'd be starving, you know, because you hadn't eaten, because I think the under 21s played at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then first grade was at 3, and by that time you were starving, and everyone, we used to like get sausage rolls and have a little bite down and then just sit there, you know, like, rapes, get the sauce off your face, mate, you know, like, while I was sitting there, because we knew we weren't going to get on, really. Yeah. And this...
were you sitting in the old dugout?
Yeah, no, this my debut was down Wollongong.
Oh, okay,
down
gotcha.
there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we would sit in the old dugouts, like so all year I would sit there, and like, it was like sitting against... like, next to some really big names, and it was just such a good, like, the first couple of times, like, I was like, oh shit, you know, like, how good's this, and like thinking you're going to get on, and then it just become, oh no, we're not going to get on, but how good is this, you know? It's such a great experience and an honour to be able to sit and watch our first graders from the dugout.
So would your family have known that in Wollongong you were going to get on?
No.
Were your family there? Like, were your parents there or anyone, or?
I'd say no. I'd say no. Maybe they would have been there at the start, because when I sat on the bench the first couple of times, and then they got, and I said to them, like, I don't think anything's going to happen. Yeah. Like, I did it like it would have been like at least 15 times, I reckon, like, where I sat on the bench, you know, like, so. I don't think they hung around, but I don't know whether they were there. I should ask Mum. I'm not too sure if she'd remember or not, but yeah.
And so you came on against the Steelers. The game didn't go too well.
No.
You lost 34-0.
Yeah. So I come on real late in that. So it was no, but it was the game. The game was done, right? So, and Fitzy wanted to give me a go, and like. Alan Fitzgibbon, who we're talking about with Fitzy, not Craig, obviously, because Craig was actually my ball boy.
Amazing.
So, but Alan, I got a lot of gratitude, and I'm very thankful for Alan and what he did for my career, because he was a real pusher, and he used to challenge me at training when I used to come up and train me first grade, and like, he could see something in me, and I think I told him at in Hall of Fame, I said, thanks, mate, you know, I really appreciate what you've done, and he's probably just blah, blah, blah. But anyhow, the game was well and truly done, and so they threw me on there, and I absolutely shit myself, because like, there was no way I thought I was going on.
Yeah.
And I remember that one of the first tackles that I made, we you know, I don't know whether we kicked the ball dead. We must have kicked the ball dead, and we had a tap. They had a tap 20 metres out, and I reckon this was one of my first tackles. And all I can remember is Rod Wishart running straight at me, and I just sat down, because I was a low legs tackler, and Wishy with his big, I remember those big thighs coming at me, mate, and because he would have been a little bit younger then as well, and he's just gone boom like this, and I've just gone over like that, and they've run and run 80 metres and scored. He drew the fullback and scored a try. So that was my first introduction to first grade, and I thought, if I thought I was ready for this, maybe I'm not.
Amazing.
Maybe I'm not. Yeah.
So Arthur Beetson comes in. Tell us about your relationship with Arthur.
Yeah, real good, Artie. I remember having one argument that I'm really not happy with. And it was around my when I had my blood clot, but Artie brought a lot of young kids in. He had an eye for talent, and like Fitzy could see something to me. Artie brought it out. Mm-hmm. You know, like Artie was just a brilliant human being, a brilliant had a great eye for talent, and he was just. He was outstanding for this club, because the young kids that he brought on that ended up going on and playing a lot of first grade, played representative football, it was all because of Artie.
Yeah.
You know, so and Artie was fantastic, and what a human being! Like this big dude, you know, like he's just, and you know, yeah, he's very high in my standards of human beings, Arthur.
Now, before we go too much further forward, end of 91, you win reserve grade. Is that right? Is that right, Ash?
No, 94. Yeah, 90.
All right. Let's talk about the year you didn't play first grade. Was that 91?
The year I didn't play first grade?
Yes. So you debuted, then you had...
So I didn't play for the rest of the year?
Yes.
I think it was 90 I debuted, was
Yes.
it? 90 I debuted?
Yes.
And 91... No, I didn't.
There was Luke Massey, there was Dan Staines.
Yeah, so that was when... so Fitzy could see my talent coming through because he could see the skill, but the game wasn't that way orientated at that stage. All right, it still wasn't ready for. And I don't want to. I was a little bit more of a ball player than a hard sort of a tackler runner, you know. So I think Benny Elias was probably the only one who had that. And I tried to play like Benny Elias, right? So I think Benny was probably the only one who had that skill. Like he was the first one I think to come through. But Sharks were still fixated on defensive orientated, which again is you know, look, it's absolutely made, you know, defence wins games, obviously. And so they used to play with a 6-man forward pack, as in forwards, like, and they'd play the halfback as a dummy half.
Yep.
And sometimes, I don't think Danger was there, but I remember Danger, even before that, David Hatch used to come in and play dummy half a fair bit.
Yep.
Mick Porter used to play halfback, dummy half, Luke Massey.
Yep.
So that was still in that transition. And so I don't think, and then I think David Trewella had come to the club as well. So there was a lot of pressure there for me to get through. But I played reserve grade, and I played with guys like Errol Hillier, who, like, you know, all these Mal Wheeler, like these icons. They don't get that initiation into the game these days. They don't get to play with these hard ass blokes who are going to knock you out. And
you're talking about guys who were regular first graders, regular reserve graders, fringe first graders, but they were bad dudes.
They were bad dudes, mate. They were bad dudes, and it was tough. It was really tough being a young kid coming up in that. Like it was an iron. Like they'd clip me over the ear if I ever did anything wrong.
So does that mean when Arthur came in, it was a more attack orientated style that he brought?
I think he changed that. Well, Arthur was he was skillful. Obviously his attacking brain was up there with the best. But I think he was more attacking orientated. But I just believe like it's almost like his whole point of being at the Sharks was to bring to letting all the young guys free, you know, and letting us do our own thing and bringing us on, and it was quite ballsy for him to do that, you know, like because the first few years weren't that good, as in, you know, winning wise, you know, like it was pretty dour time for the Sharks in that period. So
on that, and I do have to, my little boo-boo before, it was not an Ash Taylor thing, it was a me thing, reading the wrong thing. So we're 1 from 5 to start 92.
Yep.
And then we play Penrith, who were the premiers, and you play, and you score the match-winning try.
Yep.
Talk us through that.
Yeah, that was quite a good experience. The family was there then.
Yeah, nice.
I just remember me being run off my feet the whole time. It was just such a intense, like it doesn't matter like how many hard games you play in reserve grade against all those guys, the pace of the game in first grade is times 2, you know. And I remember sitting next door, next to Etz was sitting next to me, and because I've known Andrew like since I've been like, you know, like 5 years of age, you know,
Yeah.
because Stuart and Nets were best mates and are best mates, and you know they play footy together, and Nets was sitting because Nets obviously Artie had told ET, and he was sitting next to me, and when he read my name out, it's just grabbed my leg and just grabbed, and I've just gone far out, you know, like I can't believe it, like it was so good, and everyone come over, and it wasn't like today where everyone gets all like jumps up and all excited, which I wish it was. You know, when they score tries these days, it's like everyone celebrates and that. Like, but back then it was like score a try, righto, focus, got to get back in the focus. I wish it was sort of more like that back then.
There was a lot less emotion, or at least
showmanship,
displaying the emotion.
Definitely. We had to, score a try, righto, focus, got to get back in. But
well, tell us what it was like playing with those guys, like guys who had become household names themselves, Andrew Ettinghausen. Like, what was it like representing the club and playing with those guys?
Well,
his dream come true.
And absolutely. Like the first and foremost, Sharks is my team.
Yeah.
You know, like I lost my front tooth on that hill playing footy. You know, like and trying to get the ball when they tried to.
Yeah.
You know, like it's mate. I bleed black, white, and blue.
We suffer the same affliction.
No, that's right, and there's plenty of us that do, and like I said, like most of the people back then were all juniors. Like I spoke to the first grade side, I think it was last year. Most of the club are local juniors. Like I reckon it must be at least 80 to 90%. I don't know, Ash, if you can do a stat on that, but we're all local juniors. Most of us are local juniors, so it's not like we just didn't play for the club. Like we supported the club.
Yeah.
You know, like through everything. You know, all the times at pay cuts and going bankrupt and whatever. Like we supported them the whole way through. So, but playing for the Sharks in first grade is just like I wasn't playing. There's no way I was playing with anyone else. But and then the likes of the team, the likes I was playing with, because I played with a few of them in reserve grade. Like Barry Russell come back and played. I think Doco come back a couple of times. Although Doco wasn't in that side, was he? But it was Gav Miller, like the greatest human, Gavin Miller. Like he challenged me like no other footballer challenged me, mate. At training, I swear, because I used to try and like do things at training, mate. He used to look at me, he used to give me the filthy look, mate. we all knew the filthy look, right? And when Gav gave it to you, like it was like the eyes went down. It was like.
Was it because you were doing it wrong, or because it was his job?
Both.
Yeah. Okay.
Both. More probably because I was doing it wrong, like being a young kid. But he challenged me. I remember the training sessions I used to go through. Not that I did, but I'm over exaggerating here. But I'd half walk off crying, because I didn't have the expectations of what. Like Gav would throw 3 plays at me at once, and just to challenge me, because because Fitzy used to get him to do that, and that's what I believe. Or Gav just did it himself because he could see something in me as well, but.
You could see the way he played, especially in that era. He was just, the mind never stopped.
Yeah.
Like in the 88, 89 years, particularly for me watching that as a kid and watching back now, just his mind is racing for 80 minutes.
Yeah. No, there was no off button when he was on the football field. And training was that, although he never stretched, Gav. He never stretched, believe it or not. That's like, and I used to think, how could you not stretch, He'd just roll on and go out there and put his shoes and socks on and run out and absolutely kill it, he's a legend.
So in 94, John Lang comes around and he brings in a lot of Queensland younger guys and changes the way of the land. Tell us about how you got along with Johnny and that sort of started the John Lang era.
Yeah, no, John and I got on well. Yeah, no, there was no dramas with him and I. Like it was refreshing him coming down, I suppose. Yeah. Like it was because like we had gone through such a bad period from 90 to 92 with all this the changeover of the guard, I suppose, in a certain way. Where we got flogged out there and Shark Park used to be a shit box, like that oval was horrible. We used to sink that far when it rained, obviously because it's on a swamp. Like we used to sink down that far. Like, it was so hard to get out of there.
Yeah.
Like, everyone hated that. And that's where it all started, why, you know, Gus goes on about, like, how everyone hates coming here. It's because of that and the southerlies that we get. That's why. Like, it was horrible, mate, coming here. And we used to train here and play here. So we went through a very dark period. And when Langy come down, he was quite in your, like, you know, like, he was an exciting coach, Johnny, you know, like, he wasn't fancy with how he wanted shit done, you know, but he was specific in how he wanted it done, and you did it. And because I had an inquisitive mind where, like, because I wanted to know everything, and I'd go, what about, like, you know, what happens when we get down to over there and do that? And he goes, it's an on a need to know basis, Rapes. All right, so you're not going to be there, so don't worry about it. You know,
right.
Like, so and that sort of frustrated me a little bit, because I wanted to know everything. Like, I wanted to know what happened when the ball went over there, and when Etz had to go to dummy half and blah blah blah. You know, like, I just wanted to know everything, because I felt like I had to try and get there as quick as I could, and or know where they were going so I could get there. But Langy, it was refreshing, and all those guys like Nuxie, Greeny, Nevy, Adam Ma, you know, I think he brought Paul Fisher down as well, like two friends who have passed away from motor neurons disease. Like, it was refreshing. It was a great. And they fitted in really well, and with all us coming through. Because and all the local juniors like Mitch Healy and you know, like, it was just a brilliant period to be in.
And John Lang era, for me, the attack was sublime. Defense was pretty good a lot of the years. Could you see that attack start when he came, or was that a gradual thing with the players that came through?
Probably a bit of both, I suppose. You know, the injection of Paul Green was pretty significant. Like, I think he really added a lot of excitement to our attack, and I believe, and I'm not sure if Nico come there at that stage. We had some attacking guys, but we had some hard edge to us as well. Yeah, you know, like Craig Greenhill. Yeah, you know, like, and Les was playing then. Danny Lee, the big ox, mate. One of the best front rower I think I've ever played with. Danny Lee is, and he's the big ox. He's a champion. But I think the injection of all those guys. I thought our attack, and we had speed. You know, like, there was speed. Like Paul Donaghy and Paul Bell. Jeff Bell. Jeff Bell. Paul had left by then. You know, they were speed, and then Rat on the wings, and Richie Barnett. You know, like, we had all this, and he wanted to see it. Like, I mean, I've seen highlights. People put highlights of the games, and there was a game against Manly in the semi-final, and it was I swear I think it was off the kickoff. And we had a hit up, and then we passed that way, and we passed that way. The first 5 minutes, we were just throwing it everywhere, you know.
Was that a plan, or was that ad lib with the guys that you had?
Look, I don't believe it was a plan. No, I just think it was. Like, that's how we wanted to play.
Yeah.
And we were young.
Yeah.
And we were gutsy. You know, like, we were risk takers. You know, like, because I used to take risks down the, you know, out of dummy half, and then Greeny would, and then, you know, you got Benny Zammit and Peachy at the back. You know, like, we had some. I think it evolved. I don't think it actually come on straight away. I don't think that was the biggest plan that Langy wanted, but I reckon he saw an opportunity and just gone, no, this is the way we're going to do it now.
So end of '93, you had some injuries, which we've talked over. So your season in '94 with Lang, first year was a bit disrupted. Andrew Neeb was here as well, in the competition. And this was the year you played in the lower grade grand final.
Yeah,
94.
Played in reserve grade. But so my main injury, because when Langy first came, I did a bit of the pre-season, and part of, like, so Matt Rogers and I don't know if anyone knows this, we were pretty much
what you're going to say.
We were pretty much the first ones ever to go full time.
Oh, okay.
We decided, so Rat didn't care because he was a 17-year-old, like, he didn't give a shit, right?
Yeah.
I actually think Terry Lamb had tried going full time, but he couldn't. He didn't want to do it.
You're saying first time in the league?
In the league.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I haven't heard of anyone that say any different.
Okay.
And so Rat and I started going. We trained together for a long time. Like and we were right into our weights. And I remember going to a training session down here in a weight session, and Paul Watson, one of the greatest trainers I've ever had, inspirational trainers. I went up to him one day and I said, mate, my arm's a little bit swollen. Like this arm's a lot swollen. Do you know what it is? And he goes, yeah, Rape, just because you're doing the weights, man, you're putting on weight. I said, yeah, that's fine. But what about this side? Why isn't this side getting any bigger? Oh, don't worry about it, Rape. Just working. Like, everything was positive with what everything. It was so good. Anyhow, I had a blood clot, so I almost died. So I was 1 in 100 or something of dying. I got rushed to hospital at Randwick, and I had poisonous stuck up my arm, and so I was out for the year. That first year that John come down, I didn't play. So Andrew Neve come in and killed it, and absolutely killed it. And I was shitting myself. I just thought, that's it. I'm done. I'm not getting back in the side. But then as time went on, I come back, and then I played in the reserve grade grand final, and that was when we won President's Cup and reserve grade.
Talk us through the reserve grade team.
Yeah, well, that was like it almost went back to when I started. Like it was like Monty Porter was playing. Michael Porter played, yes. Glenn Coleman played. I'm going to throw Darren Higgins in there as well because he was.
Was my boy Al Wilson?
Wilso was skipper. Wilso was skipper. You know, it was like all these old heads, and I was probably not that I was an old head, but I was probably a senior player of that. Like like it was, and John Dykes was, he was our coach, and we have reunions today with that 21s and reserve grade side, and I don't go to any other better reunions. Like it's a unique, because we're all local juniors. Like I know I've said it a few times.
No, just say it as much.
Like we're all local juniors, and we're all best mates, and we still today, like when we see each other, it's just like like we're best mates. That we did something really special, because from memory, I think maybe it was the first time we'd won but maybe
there weren't too many.
No, I think maybe a Matthews Cup. Maybe they might have. Well, they might have won a couple in Matthews Cup, I think. Yeah, but I don't think in reserve grade and under 21s, and have two teams do it. It was.
I remember watching on telly, and even then as a younger person, still starved of, top success in my top team. To watch that was amazing, and of course we knew all you guys who were playing. So to see like an Al Wilson lift the trophy. That was just beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so we need to get to some of those reunions. It sounds like to have the best time ever. So 95 is a big year for you. We're going to talk about 95. You make your return in round. You come back in 95. We want to talk about round 4 in Perth, which will go down in history with the club.
Yeah.
So for younger listeners and viewers, Super League is just around the corner, and they've gone to Perth with their checkbooks.
Yep.
I believe 2 guys out of the entire squad did not sign on with Super League. They would eventually go to ARL, and that was you and Adam Ritson.
That's right, but not at the time.
Explain what that means.
It was only me. So,
yes, of course.
I'll tell you why it was only. Oh, sorry, I just.
You're good.
So yeah, I got called back in the first grade, and like we flew over there, and everything was normal, right? And I remember because I was a little bit experienced at that time, so I had an understanding of maybe the dressing rooms at the time, and I remember because I'd been in the dressing room a lot with Langy beforehand just to see how he operated, and I remember this over there in Western Australia. We were looking at him. I remember looking at Mitch Healy and looking at Hills going, because Langy was just like, he was like so like intense, and he was over the top with his expressions on how he wants to do things. It was like, had never seen before, right? So I thought maybe there might have been a little bit of pressure on him. I don't know, but it was not at that time. Now I think maybe there was, but not at the time. We're going, like, we were sort of half laughing at each other. And we got up and we sort of said, what the hell did you see? You know, this is just before we were about to run on. Anyhow, we played the game. I think we won. We come off and sitting in the dressing rooms and everyone's getting changed and blah, blah, blah. Everything's normal for me. Everyone goes out. Everyone goes in the bus. We all get back to the hotel room and no one gets off the bus because I was halfway down because, you know, first goes and I'm halfway down. I'm going, what's going on here? Well, no one's getting off. What's going blah, blah, blah. And then I've just gone, I've stood up and said, what are you doing, boys? Let's go. Let's get on the piss. We just won. So I've got up and walked out and no one followed me.
Oh.
Right? No one followed. The trainers might have followed me and then maybe a couple of the lower grade guys, they would have followed me, all right? So people were moving out. So it wasn't like I was thinking, oh, why is anyone, why are they all sitting on the bus? Went downstairs, went upstairs, went out the bus upstairs, had a shower, come back down, and there was no one there. And Tapes, a bloke called Luke Taper, goes to me, Rapes, what are you still doing here? All the boys have gone. And I said, gone? I said, what do you mean they're gone? And I've gone, spill, and they've just, where they go, like they've got free tickets to get into somewhere in a nightclub or something like that. All right, I'll catch up with them. And he goes, they're all going to limos. And I'm going, what? Limos? That doesn't sound like Cronulla. We can't bloody get limos for the players. And then our Stuart, my brother, who was coaching the under-21s, because all three grades went over. Uh-huh. And he goes, come here, I've got something to tell you. And then he ran through it and I went, I was really disappointed.
So explain to me why didn't you stay with them? They didn't choose you? I thought you didn't choose them.
No. So originally, they all got tapped on the shoulder in the dressing sheds.
Right.
So, and I didn't notice anything. And he said, when we get back to the hotel, do not say anything to anyone and stay on the bus.
But is that because of you're a raper and you won't go against the ARL, or that it's
I think, look, I've never asked the question and I've never gone into it with anyone, but I believe that's what it was. So
what else can it be? It's not like they wouldn't have wanted you.
No, I think that's
okay.
I think that's the scenario. I think it was because my last name was Raper and Dad was still heavily involved with the game at the time. And there were murmurs, and maybe Dad was a bit outspoken on a few things. I'm not too sure if it was beforehand, but
sure.
But definitely, I believe it was cause of that. And I went back to the nightclub, and I didn't see the boys, and I was out with all the reserve graders in the 21 space, and then all of a sudden they've all come in, and I remember a few of them. I'm not going to mention any names, and they go, Rapes, mate. They grabbed me on the shoulder and they're going, have a look at this. And they were showing me checks of hundreds of thousands of dollars, and guys who hadn't even played first grade yet were getting this and getting $80,000 to $90,000. And I'm going, good on you, boys. I went over to the bar and just started drinking. I thought, what the hell is going on? It's actually happening. So Adam Ritson had been asked.
Yeah.
So he was one of them that stayed up, and he's a champion, Adam Ritson. His morals are very high. He believed he was doing the wrong thing. This is the story, right? So he believed he thought he was doing the wrong thing by the manager because his manager wasn't there. No one was represented there, right? So it was almost forced upon, which is sort of a little bit illegal.
Yeah.
Especially for some of them who were underage. Adam Ritson was bloody. Was he 16, 17? I'm not 100% sure, but a couple of them were young. So he didn't want to do the wrong thing, and then he spoke to his manager, and then obviously money comes involved with it. But Rideau wanted to do the right thing and stay loyal to the ARL.
So how did that affect? We're not going to leave this year just yet, but how did that affect the playing personnel? Was there any kind of divide, or not really?
No, I remember sitting in this dressing shed. So we come, I was just saying to Ash before, I don't know why sometimes we had our meetings in here. I remember once we had a meeting in here when they come in and asked us to take a pay cut when Artie was there. Artie was here, and then we had a meeting over there with the same thing, but this meeting was here, and we all sat there, and Ed spoke, and and just saying everyone's got to do the right thing by themselves, and blah blah. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do it as a club, blah blah blah. And I'm sort of sitting there by myself, going, "Well, hang on, the club's not involving me," and my so I sat silent for most of the day, and I said at the end, I said, because I was still I wasn't really a senior player there, but I was mid. And I just said, boys, as long as this doesn't affect our season this year, because I really want to win this year.
Yeah.
Can we do that? And they've all gone, oh no, Rapes, this is nothing's personal here. It's just this is what we've chosen to do. You've chosen to do this, and they were fine. Everyone was fine. There wasn't any. Oh, what about Rapes not signing?
Yeah.
There was none of that, and I didn't do the same to them. It wasn't a bickering war going on.
Yeah.
But
and just for the record, Super League never approached you, or never made an offer.
No, never made an offer.
Okay.
Mind you, Dad, I think part of the reason, because we did have a big meeting in the auditorium when everyone was invited, and Dad did get up. And this is the Mal Meninga's quote where he,
yes,
which I think he I really changed my opinion of Mal, but I think I don't believe he actually meant what he said.
Regrets.
Yeah, when he goes up and goes, oh, what has the game given me?
Yeah.
Was his comment.
Yeah.
And didn't that turn Dad upside down? Dad got up and he just ripped into everyone on the microphone, and
I forgot that was actually at the club. That's a historical moment in the game.
Yeah, it was a.
It's crazy when you think back now and where the game's come, and it's making billions of dollars.
Yeah.
But to come out of that little couple of years.
Yeah, well, I believe that era and that time set it up for the players today.
Yeah.
Because I still don't believe all players are getting paid enough. I still believe that I know they do get paid a lot of money, but there's a lot of people that play that in the first grade system that go back down to reserve grade and never really get a chance, and they spend their whole life dedicating themselves, to rugby league. But I believe that was the big talk back then. Was that we're finally going to get paid some good money, and the money went up a lot. Was
the media onto you at all about you were the one of the only Sharks? Not was there extra pressure on you from the media or anything?
No, I think maybe a little bit, but I remember Ed grabbing me and saying the same sort of thing, or what could happen.
Yeah.
And he said to me, and I remember him saying to me, "Oh, look, I think it's probably better if you don't get involved with this, because you're going to be, you could make yourself the pinnacle of this whole war, right?" And he said, "Let the old man do that. You just concentrate on football." And it was good advice. I think I did one interview for the ARL, and that was it.
So, the same year, the media did find you again because you were selected to play for Australia, but Bob Fulton had other ideas.
Yeah.
And so he was involved with Manly heavily at that time, and Bulldog Jim Sedaris was going to Manly, another great hooker, I should say. And somehow you went from being the hooker to not being the hooker very quickly. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, Arthur Beetson was one of the coaches, one of the selectors then, and I was chosen. I was chosen to represent my. It still irks me a little bit, I don't understand how this can happen, because he's taken away a childhood dream.
Yeah.
It's very disappointing, but I got chosen to play for my country, but it ended up being, and the talk of the town is that Jim Sedaris, when he signed with the Sea Eagles, was that the part of the deal is that you'll represent your country.
I'm sure.
If you sign. That's the talk. So when I got chosen, it come out that Bozo didn't want me, and he said that if Raper gets chosen, he'll sit on the bench and he won't get on the field. And he goes, "I want Jim Sedaris," and it was a kick in the guts. It was so disappointing, but Arthur Beetson, being the person he is, he quit as being a selective. And he goes, what's the point of us being a selective? We're here to do a job, to go around and look at everyone and judge their performance, and then choose our team that's meant to represent our country. And then all of a sudden the coach, who doesn't like one player, gets the, like it was, so he quit, Artie, so.
Was your dad involved as well?
Dad was a selector as well, yeah. Dad was a selector, and
that's super awkward.
But it is super awkward.
For him.
And I'm led to believe that Dad actually left the room when this was happening. So the two other selectors chose, and Dad didn't tell me that. I think Artie might have told me that, but I'm not fully. I don't know. I can't remember.
Did you have any communication with Jim Sedaris?
No.
Have you ever spoken about it with him?
No.
Interesting.
No, I haven't had any communication with Jim actually.
Complete outsider looking in hindsight, and everything I've studied about the game, it sounds like there was a deal done with Manly, as opposed to I don't want Aaron Reaper. That's just my opinion looking at it. I completely respect you might have a different opinion.
Yeah, possibly. That might.
As in, you're just the fall guy.
Maybe you're right. No, I don't. Well, I don't think. No, I definitely think it was a deal that was done. But the deal shouldn't have been made. The deal shouldn't have been made. That's the whole thing. Like, I don't think Bozo thought I was the worst footballer in the world, but I just don't think that that sort of stuff should happen. Like, and especially at that level, like maybe in contractual agreements and that with like lower grades or something, but not when it comes to representing your country. That's just I just can't understand that at all.
So 95, Sharks get rolled in the finals, Manly and Newcastle. What do you remember of that?
I remember going out to Leeds and losing them.
Yeah.
It was. We actually, like, for still a young side in the semi-finals, and relatively new as in for combinations and that. I thought, like, that year was outstanding. Like, I think we might have gone on a run of 12 or 13 in a row. I think that I'm just looking at Ash to see whether it was something that was unheard of. And I remember beating Manly at Brookie, and it was like sensational.
One of the few people to do it.
No, that's right.
Up until Craig Fitzgibbon took over.
No, that's right. Yeah, from the Sharks' point of view,
yes.
Because we hate them, right? Yeah. But we were on fire. We were like, but I think our maturitism in that game was probably come out, and I think just because we'd get out to good leads, and then we'd let them come back into the game, but. It was, it was good times, but geez, it was disappointing because I knew it was going to be like my last games for the Sharks, because I'd signed with Parramatta, but it was very disappointing. I thought we had a side that could have won it.
Yeah,
I thought there was talent in there from like we had it all. We had the speed. Tawira Nicow was absolutely killing it, and we had the front rowers in Ox and Les Davidson and Craig Greenhill. Like we had the side. It was maybe we were just a little bit, maybe it was our first start of us being successful. I still thought that side should have, or in the next year or two, if Super League didn't stuff everything up, I reckon we would have gone on and you got to lose a couple of semis and finals to get in there in the group G. Yeah, but I think we would have got there eventually.
I mean, the John Lang era to me is very successful because there's probably like 1 or 2 seasons out of the 10 or 11 years that he didn't make the finals or have a good shot at it. Yeah. He went super close like a bunch of times, including 95. Do you remember what part of the season you signed with Parramatta in 95 to play in 96?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Like, was it mid or?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was early.
Okay.
But what I tell you what did have to happen is that like you had to go into the head office of the ARL and go and sign.
Right.
Like you had to go sign or negotiate your actual contract with them to sign up with the ARL. And I've never seen there would have been on the ground, there were people signing contracts on the ground. There would have been like about 100 people in all these offices.
Okay, so you've signed during the frenzy of the Super League ARL, like it was in that kind of period. Like right then.
Right. And so like, and like there was people, so many people lying on the ground in the hallways, and like it was just like there was so many people there. It was mayhem. And I'm pretty sure it was early in the year, and so I went in there and negotiated my sign-on fee.
Right.
But then you had to sign on. Then you had to negotiate what club you were to go to. Right. So I was signing with the NRL.
Yes.
So those boys over in WA signed with Super League.
Yes.
Not the Sharks. They signed with Super League, and we did the same thing with the ARL. And then it wasn't too much later that I signed with Parramatta.
Were there many clubs chasing?
There was a couple like Newcastle. I was really close to going to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Really close, and they end up winning the comp that year. So that was a big kick in the guts. But I think it was just Newcastle was I think Mal really was there at the time, but Newcastle was the only other one.
Okay. Tell us about 96 at Para.
Yeah, it was
those couple of years at Para.
Yeah, the first couple of years. Well, I broke my collarbone early at Para. I had so many injuries, and all my injuries were like sort of long term. Like I didn't have any like 1 week out.
When I saw you'd played just under 100 NRL games, I was in shock. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, I just had so many. I had knee reconstructions, broken shoulders, blood clots. Like a lot of my injuries were a year long.
Yeah.
So breaking the collarbone was 12 weeks. Brad Thorne I went too low on Brad Thorne. You know, he's about 6'8", and I copped his shin right in my collarbone and broke that. But our most successful year, 97 was a good year for me because I got chosen for the Origin.
We're going to talk about that.
Right, but Parramatta was great, and it actually was the first time it took me outside of the Shire.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like like for Carmens, Northies, that's it. What Down Under Bar, you know, like they were the places I went to.
Okay.
When I went over to Parramatta to get introduced to a whole new group of people and life outside, it was awakening.
Who was the coach?
At the time, Ron Hilditch was the coach, and then Brian Smith ended up being coach for 97, 98.
What was Brian Smith like? We've heard all this different, rumours and whatever.
Yeah, I don't want to say too many bad things about Brian.
No. Well, give me some good things.
Because the smartest coach I've ever met.
Okay.
He would have us walking out on the football field thinking the people we're playing against are hopeless. Like they're hopeless. How are they playing first grade? He had this. He broke the game up. They break the game up now. Everything they do now is because of Brian Smith.
Yeah.
Like Brian Smith broke down the game like everywhere in the field. Now it's in different parts of the field.
Yeah.
But everywhere in the field, he knew weaknesses. Yeah. He was brilliant. He just had a communication problem.
Sure. So 97, as you said, you are selected for Origin. You can't avoid the press, or you can't avoid the inverted commas controversies. You didn't get out on the field. You were on the bench the whole time. Run us through that.
Yeah. So it wasn't the best time. Like
Tommy Radonicus was the coach.
What was the coach? Yeah, and at the time it was the best and worst time of my life.
Right.
all in that little time frame of 5 days. Right. Getting chosen because we had the week off. Right. We had the week off from at Para, and then I'd organised to go away to Hamilton Island with my cousin. Anyhow, I dyed my hair white. Right. I dyed my hair white.
Yeah.
Because I was just going away and having fun. Then I got the call. I come back. I was in Origin. I was in camp, and I was led to believe that I was actually starting. So that no one had told me any different. So I was starting because the hooker, I think Joey had got injured.
Yeah.
And he was a hooker, and I was going to go straight into the nine. And I got a phone call from Brian, and he goes, "Oh, mate, is there any chance you can play this weekend? Because I've heard you're not starting." I went, "Mate," I said, "this is the biggest game of my life. I don't know. I'm led to believe I'm starting. I'm not coming back and playing." So I had a feeling he knew something for some reason. Right. I don't know why, because I'm hoping that it wasn't planned. Anyhow, I was sitting on the sideline the whole time, right? I had my blue terry toweling dressing gown on, which I still have, which I still take photos.
I literally can see you now. I can, with the hair and the...
Yeah. And that photo that you're talking about is probably the most disappointing photo.
Sure.
I can remember of me playing, because it showed me really upset, and it was the photo was about me, where I should have been more focused on the team.
Right.
And it irks me a little bit, that photo. I don't like seeing it too much. But anyhow, I sat in the middle of the MCG with 70,000, 90,000 people around us, and we're a long way away from everyone.
Yeah.
And anyhow, time went by. I can get on here. He can put me on here. No, I reckon he's probably going to put me on here. Blah blah blah. This is what I'm going through my head, and it just kept on going on. The time, and I'm just going. I don't think I'm getting on here, and that's probably when that photo was taken. And anyhow, I went back in the dressing sheds, and Alan Wilson was the trainer, and he come up to me and goes, "Oh, Rapes, we've got to get that dressing gown off you, mate, for the next game." And I looked up at Wilson and I said, "Brutal. Can I swear here or not?" And no. And I said, "You effing try to take this dressing gown off me. I'm not letting this. I'm not going to let you take this." And he knew what, and he walked away.
Yeah, of course.
And now Tommy come up and goes, "Mate, I actually forgot you were there. I forgot you were on."
So I was going to say, doing some research through Ash Taylor, that was one of the quotes. Is that legit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And I thought, I just didn't understand. And I thought, here I am, I've got fluorescent white hair. It had just been done. And that's another disappointing thing. I wish I shaved it off. I wish someone said to me, Rapes, don't be a dickhead. You got to shave your head off, mate. You got to shave your hair. Yeah. And I wish someone did. But anyhow, I was going through a bit of a bad time. Sure. And anyhow, but I was sitting there, it was glowing. It was glowing my hair. And I thought, how could you not see me where I'm like a beacon just going, beep, beep.
So again, outside of looking in hindsight, at least it's not like I didn't want to get him on there. It's just for some reason, it's unthinkable, but I forgot that my player was down there. It sounds like you didn't get over it, or are you over it? There's no wrong answer.
Oh, look, no, I'm over it. And I've spoken to Tommy before. He said he's apologised before. Yeah, like I say, there's nothing. But like this is it's an important game. I wish he had better justification for it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, right.
I wish he'd come to me and said, technically, Rapes, the game wasn't evolving the way I want. I wish he would have come and said something. I would have gone, okay, mate, no worries.
Yeah.
But yeah, mate, it's state of origin, it's the pinnacle, it's, I was very disappointed, but.
All right, we didn't bring you on here to make you disappointed and feel sad. You finish up in the NRL in 98, and you go to England. Tell us about England.
Yeah, I played at Castleford. Stuart was coaching over there, my brother.
Excellent.
So,
what was he like as a coach?
No, he was good.
Did he ride you hard, or did he let you off?
No. Well, I was a senior player then. By then, there was no doubt. So he didn't ride me at all. So, it was like those 3 years. I've got to say, it's probably the best 3 years of my life. We just had an absolute ball, and we were really successful. Although we didn't win it, but we got to major semis.
Yeah. Did your game change at all? Did it improve?
I actually think it was the best I played.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think those 3 years I was over there, because the game's a little bit different over there, and it allows for people with skill.
Yeah.
To
it's a bit slower, right?
It's a little bit slower, but not when you play the top teams.
Right.
So not when you play the top teams, it's just as quick. But I find you hear about how people see the game slower as they get older.
Yeah.
And there's some footballers that are doing. I remember Jason Smith doing that when he went to England, come back, and he could see the game so much. Everything slowed down. I thought that the game sort of slowed down for me in my head. I could see things a lot clearer over there, and there were a lot more opportunities over there. Yeah, and it was just such a great period of my life.
What was it like for you to see Stewie get the top job here a couple of years ago?
Yeah, no, that was excellent. That was it was a dream of his as well. You know, like, 'cause I don't think he didn't get to play first grade here. He got to play first grade with Western, I think he played, but he never played first grade here. And he was a good footballer. He was a good footballer. Just the eras didn't match up with his skillfulness, and the Jack Gibson era of tackling and head down, ass up, which was very successful.
Yeah.
God, how could I say anything bad about Jack Gibson? My God, and I'm not. But his coaching, I think, was his forte. I think he's got a good persona about him, Stuart, which is a lot different to me. He comes across as a lot more calmer. He's more astute with things that he says, and I think he's the way he communicates is nowhere near as hectic as how I would do it, I suppose. But he has got a calmness about him, which is needed.
Did you ever think about coaching?
Yeah, no, I coached here in the under-21s. I coached them to the first year we made the grand final. Jamie Soward kicked a 50-metre field goal to beat us. And that was Flano was coaching. Shane Flanagan was coaching that side, and it was the first team ever to go through undefeated, Flano's side.
Who was in our team that we might remember?
Bryson Goodwin, Bronx Goodwin, Luke. Not Luke Cavell. I was going to say Luke Cavell. Oh, geez. Travis Burns.
Yep.
Jacob Selms.
Okay.
Luke Douglas was one I was thinking of.
Dougie, yep. That's a pretty good team.
Oh, it was a good side. It was a good side, yeah.
Yeah, that field goal was brutal.
Yeah.
Happier Days, 2016. Well, sorry, one more happy day, an extension on where you made, 2016. As a local boy, former player, when in that year did you think the Sharks were going to go all the way?
How can any Shark supporter think they're going to go all the way?
Take that back. When did you think we were going to be in the grand final?
Did they play the Cowboys in the major semi-final?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I was out there.
So not till then were you, just because of the misfortune we've had over
I couldn't. You could analyse it and break it down as much as you wanted to, but there's no way. I don't think anyone could. I don't know about yourself.
I'm with you. It was a very special team, though, is what I'm trying to
say. Mate, it was, and Flano knows how to gel a side. He can bring a side together. But that 2016 side was it was. You had some, because usually when you win a grand final, you've got to have 5 or 6 X factors, and then the rest have got to be playing at their greatest level. I don't know whether we had that. I mean, we had Fafita, but I don't know. And was anyone else
We had Benny Barber.
But yes, and he is brilliant. He is brilliant. We had some great footballers who did some great things. But I'm talking about you look at say the Canberra side that did it for years, and the Broncos sides that did it for years. This Shark side was there, but I reckon not as good as those sides. But my God, they were good. Mate, that was the greatest year of my life.
Yeah,
greatest year of my life.
So
it sounds like I'm putting a little bit of rubbish on that side, does it? I hope not.
No, you're not at all, because you're saying that Canberra had Brad Clyde, Mal Meningo, Gary Belcher, all those people.
Yeah, just
whereas our X factors were Valentine that year was unbelievable, and Chad played out of his skin. They all played. No, you're not putting. No.
Mate, look, Chad Townsend. I grabbed him at the end of there. The first local junior to win a grand final. And the only, which is that was. I had. I don't know if we're going to go on with the 2016, because
please.
I
I want to hear all about it.
When we made it, there was no way I wasn't going to go. Like I had friends, like mad Shark supporters, who are away, and I'm going, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
What you got? How are you not here? Like it's insane how you could not be here." Anyhow, I got all my old jumpers out. We ended up getting the bus in there. I got all my old jumpers out, and they all stunk of mothballs and that. My whole family. I've got a photo. It's actually my screensaver on my photo.
We'll put it up maybe on the.
Yeah, right. I got all my old jumpers from 21s, which was number 35, to reserve grade number 22. First grade was number 9, and then I had another one, another jumper. And we all wore them out, and it all had. They didn't have raper. One of them had raper on it, or two of them had raper on it. And we were just sitting there, and then when they won that.
So let's hold up. Where were you sitting in the stadium?
Okay, so I could have got better tickets, right? But I didn't want to do the corporate thing because I didn't feel like I was part of it. If it was corporate, I got tickets at the back of the post with all the Shark supporters. Excellent. And I sat with all the mad Shark supporters, mate. It was insane. My kids. And
you must have been recognised by a few, right?
A couple of people. I think with the raper on the back sort of stood out a little bit, but it was like people would go by and go, yeah, but I think everyone was going, yeah, to everyone, you know. I don't think like it wasn't that. It wasn't about anyone special at that time, you know. Like, and I think it was just like it was such a brilliant experience being involved. And being there.
So there were obviously a lot of old boys in the house. Were you in touch with them throughout the day, or like in the evening? Like did you meet up with anyone there aside from being with your family?
Yeah, well, so after the game, like we went back. I made a few text calls and like to see what everyone was doing, and a few of them going back to the Leeds Club because the Leeds Club was going back then, And we were coming home, and I said because everyone was getting dropped off on the bus, getting taken home, and I said to my missus, I said, I'm not getting off here. I need to go to the Leeds Club. Like I'm not missing out on this, right? So, and I managed to get tickets upstairs where all the boys were, and all the directors were there. But there was hundreds of people, their families and that.
Just breaking kayfabe, I was in the same room with you.
Oh, were you?
Like I shouldn't have been, but I was there.
Oh, no.
As in, I didn't belong there, but I was invited, and it was amazing.
Mate, it was so good. It was so good. And obviously, the few of the boys were there. Rat was there, and ET.
A lot of the boys were there.
A lot of the boys were there. And I remember going out, and Rat come up to me, and the trophy was just sitting over there, and he goes, "Come on, Rapes, let's go grab it." And I went, "Oh, mate, no, I can't. Like, it's not deserving." He goes, and he grabbed me. He goes, "Stuff that, Rapes. We've done so much for the club. Let's go do it." And I've gone, you know what? Stuff it over there. So I've got a photo of me and Rat, and then I think there's a photo, and then Stu come over, and Et's come over, and Wade Graham's in the photo, and and I think Flano. There was a photo come up on my phone, and Flano was there, and it was just like it was so real. And I remember sitting in the standing in the auditorium with all the old boys, Et's, Rat, Peach, and we're just standing there, and all the footy players started dancing on the dance floor, and it was just like we didn't say a word. We just stood in around a little half semicircle, just looking at these guys, going, "Man, that's what we wanted to do. We tried so hard to do that." And when they it was like they owned the world.
Oh yeah.
You know, like it was so. And I just turned around to the boys and I said, "Boys, I'm out." And I went home. I wasn't drunk. I was. You know, like I'd had a couple of beers, but I just thought, I'm going. Next day, I organised. And through the day, I was organised on the blow up because I helped run the old boys,
which we're going to get to. Yes.
So the next day, I organised a reunion.
Let me guess, Carrying Bar Inn.
Yes. And and the reason being for that is that like Carrying Bar Inn was the place that we used to go to all the time, right? So when I was under 21s, we used to. And reserve grade, we used to all have to go back to Carrying Bar Inn and have a feed. So that's what we used to do. And before that's where they always went. You know, they went to Northers as well, but Carrying Bar Inn was the main focus of where everyone went. And anyhow, I organised for all the boys to come back there, and it was such a brilliant. I don't know, was there 100 of the old boys there? We're just there and we're just like reminiscing and I was trying to get on a Flano to try and get him to get the boys to come by, but we couldn't get hold of them because obviously they were just going off.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the Great Whites Players Group. So that's the old boys. Tell us about your role and what happens. And what we're trying to do on this podcast is just to raise awareness for not only the group, but individual stories and that kind of stuff. But tell us about your role and what it means to you, and just give us a bit of a spiel.
Yeah, so it was quite a few years back now, maybe about 7 or 8, maybe more. The old boys were sort of like John Dockin used to do it, and it's sort of and it's a big job, and it's a very hard job for one person to do. And I think it sort of died off, and then I went and I think it was Lyle Gordon at the time. He was here, and I said, look, mate, I want to take over the old boys. I want to get a few of the boys together, and that's when and also like so at the time so there was Ben. I think at the time we were all there. So it was Ben Ross, Barry Russell, Stuart Raper, myself, and Alan Wilson.
Yeah.
Right. So the only way we could do it is if we had a lovely lady by the name of Kylie Lucas, right? Yes. And Kylie Lucas is she's our glue. Like she's the rock that pushes this. And look, we do a lot of stuff, but Kylie does all the stuff that's super important, and she's been fantastic the whole time. But we love doing it. Like it's because we try and get all our era to try and come, and we're build it up to like there's sometimes we're getting 150 to 180 people turning up, and it's getting quite expensive now. So, but it's such a great day, and and we this year's going to be a big one. Next year because from the last time we from the grand final. So I don't know how we're going to organise this with the club, because they're going to want to do something massive as well. Yeah. I hope, and they should. Yeah. Because we've got to get those blokes in there, because it's just we want to see them,
So what else happens throughout the year? Like obviously the focus is on that 1 week and the 1 day where everyone comes together at a home game. Is there much communication throughout the year otherwise? Yeah.
So it usually kicks off, like, we're always in communication the whole time, all of us, and there are things like I've run a couple of fundraisers that's had the Great Whites, and we also he's trying to put a golf day together. So when we're trying to raise money for not for the Great Whites, but for a cause, like mine was for motor neurons disease. And we all get together. Like it's a like everyone jumps on board. It's a really good thing, because we don't get to see each other often, so these little things that we can get together and do during the year are heaps of fun, and it's just good to see everyone, and people do get involved, but it's mainly focused on that.
What's it like for you and the group when you do your lap of honour, and obviously just walking around the ground and people are like, oh my God, selfie, and telling about the stories, like that must be amazing for you guys.
As an older guy, you need a little bit of a boost, like it's a unique boost, because not everyone gets to do what I've done and what these players have done, and there's so many people who have wanted to do what we've done, and to be able to go out there, and they probably don't even know who I am, I've aged, but they're still waving, and they're clapping, they're standing, and they're cheering, and it's just like, it's such a good thing. It's such a good thing. And the Shark supporters, and I'm going back to all local juniors, they all know us. Everyone knows us, it's like they've had and that was what was so good about coming through the juniors, is that like the Shark supporters feel like they've watched us grow.
Absolutely.
And you've been through everything with us, some of the things that you talk about and people remember. Yeah. It's like, how do you remember? But you forget, they've grown with us, and they've seen us down at De La Salle Oval and playing down there. Yeah. And to be able to do that lap of honour, it's a special thing. And the other great thing about being a Great White is that the involvement we have with the Sharks, with Fitzy's got us all involved with the Sharks, and he does a brilliant job, and he invites us down here to every captain's run if you want to come down. It's and we get a kick out of that. You know, we don't do it all the time, but, you know, we get a kick out of coming down and just shaking the boys' hands, and they are so respectful, and they're all a bunch of great human beings.
They are, yeah.
You know, like Fitzy's done a fantastic job putting this crew together, and we've come up short a couple of times, but, you know, like it's not because of the lack of trying and the lack of them trying to get us involved with it as well. Like, not that we can do much, but it gives us a kick. You know, it's really good.
What's it like for you to see your former ball boy in charge of the whole organisation?
It's strange because I wouldn't have thought that back then. I just didn't. I don't know what I thought. Like, I didn't think anything, I suppose. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, what a career! Like his coaching career. Like, let's not talk about his footy career because we all know how good that was. But his coaching career is like it's pretty bloody good.
It is.
You know, like and his old man would be pretty proud because his old man had a good career as well.
It is.
He was a fantastic coach, and to have two great coaches like that, it's his demeanour is brilliant. Craig.
Yeah, so I didn't really meet him until about even maybe the third year of his 4-year career so far at the Sharks. And so I'd watch him from afar, and then we had a chat like this, and until you have that chat with him, you don't realise how astute he is about, you know, footy and life and everything. Like, it's just, you walk away kind of changed. Like, it sounds dramatic, but I was just a little bit shocked at how commanding his presence was, and I'm a huge fan of what he does.
Yeah, he's gone to the days where all you had to know was football. Yeah. Right? Like, there's so many other things you need to know now as a coach, and I think he's all over it. He's all over it. There's he's a great coach. I hope we do sign him on for a little bit more. I mean, I don't know where he's at with all that, but I think, and he's great. He's great for the community. It's he's. Well, I don't know what else to say. Like, he's a champion bloke as well.
He is.
You know, like Dave. I was talking to Dave Borton, ex first grade footballer, and he's good mates with Fitz, and he goes surfing with him. Like, he's just like, and Bordeaux speaks so highly of Craig. Yeah.
Before we let you go, Aaron, we're going to do one thing that we always talk about on this show of SharkCast, which is collaboration here with the Sharks and the Great Whites podcast. Music. I know you like music. Tell me about music in your life. Who's your favourite artist? Who's your favourite band? Like, give me something.
Oh, God.
I should have warned you about this.
You should have warned me about this.
This is going to be natural and live.
Yeah. Shake and bake. Yeah,
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. Do you want to explain to people who don't know?
So
Shake and Bake.
Shake and Bake is a local band made up of these old codgers. Front and centre of that is Stuart Raper.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a couple of boys there. All his mates have got together, formed a band, and you know what? They're all right.
Former Sharks admin / basketball hero.
Yeah, Damien Keogh is involved. Yeah, there's teachers involved. Yeah, it's a good crew, and they do all right. They do all right. Actually, they're playing this weekend somewhere, but.
Well, that can't be your favourite band of all time, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Or artist.
No, I haven't been really.
Who'd you grow up listening to? Give me something.
In excess has got it. The Hoodoos.
Okay.
You know, the Gurus were fantastic. Obviously, Dave's a mad Shark supporter. I like a little bit of Rage Against the Machine. Like, there's a couple of alternates there that I'm actually like I'm not a. I went and saw Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
Okay. It was fantastic. Okay. You know, Coldplay. I went and saw Coldplay this year. Yeah. Metallica. Like all these.
Beautiful.
I'm going to see Rufus. Is it Rufus? I don't know.
Yeah.
They're a bit of a techno with that my kids are into. So my music is broad. Excellent. You know, I don't.
I love the fact that he's still going out there and watching that.
Yeah. I love going out there. Yeah, we're gonna go watch. I think we've just bought tickets for Noiseworks, and you know how they do that little
with the tours,
and that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, with Wolfmonger. So we're gonna go see those next.
And Shake and Bake up here.
Shake and Bake, they're the best.
All right, Aaron Raper, thank you so much for being potentially our first guest, definitely the first recorded. on this great podcast that we're going to be doing, representing the old boys. And thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you in the future.
Sam, thanks very much, man. I'm really glad you're doing this. I can't wait to see how this goes and how the other boys speak.
Won't be as good as you.
I hope not.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, mate.